Hello, my name is AJ. I'm your HYPOXiX coach for today, and we have level 2.4 standing split. I love getting into the level 2 because we're going to add some dynamic movement to our standing split. So let's grab the yellow band. The band squid's at about navel height today for this one, and you're putting it right around the pelvis, around the hip flexors to increase activity of your hamstrings and your glutes. If you're working with a HYPOXiX coach and they've suggested some other resistance for you based on your assessment, of course, you want to follow that because that's there to optimize your program. Otherwise, this is a perfect starting place. So let us begin. And let's begin with the same foot forward so I can cue you through specifically. Right foot is going to be forward. We have a 4-foot stride length to begin. 2, 3, and a 4. We're pretty long with this one. Now, put a hand on your low back. Hinge forward. Make sure that hinge comes from your hip joint and not your low back. You know, even if your range of motion is only to here, that's okay. That's perfect. That's optimizing it for you. Okay, so we're hinged forward here, and you're going to interlace your fingers together. Pull them apart hard, so if your fingers are slippery, they would pull apart like this. You're engaging in your middle back, and you're opening up your shoulders. Now, the difference between level 1 and level 2 is that instead of having the hands behind the head, we're going to bring the arms as high as possible without flaring the ribs. So majorly working on shoulder mobility, but you're still going to imagine that there's hands behind your head for that HYPOXiX headstands, where you're pressing your head back into a pair of hands, but also using those hands to lift the head up. So you're always creating height in the spine, always decompressing the spine with this exercise. So now here, here's the movement. We're simply moving up and down when we get to level 2. So now we add that torso movement to challenge the glute in our standing split. Now let's get specific with our visual field. We are staring at our knee. It's a fixed point gaze. The knee is shooting a laser over the third toe every time we're in hinge. But when we come upright, we're finding our panoramic view. So there's a point on the left, a point on the right. Find it now. What's the widest points that you can stare at in your panorama, and then find those every single time you come up. So we're working the visual field, and every HYPOXiX exercise to strengthen our eyeballs, the muscles of the eyes, the shape of the eyes change, cognition, nervous system, everything is affected and associated with our visual field. Okay, so there it is. Now from here, foot pressure. We're under our big toe and our inner heel the whole time, and that front foot is pulling back toward the left foot the entire time. So if the floor was slippery, that right foot would pull straight back like that. That's important. Now, additionally, the pelvis is level to the ground, so if the left side of the ab ribbon is lower than the right side, you want to fix that and make sure that the pelvis is nice and level, okay? Squeezing the back glute lightly, so we're also opening up that back hip. It's a hip mobility exercise for the back hip as well. Now, the back foot, the pressure is under the third toe. So that's another layer of specificity. Now, 80% of our body weight is on our front leg the whole time. Even when we come upright, you're imagining that. Of course, you know, is it going to shift a little? Yes, but I just want you to visualize 80% body weight on that front leg as you move up and down. The arms stay here, ground resistance. Third toe we stare at, panorama when we come up, pelvis is level. And that's it. So if this is your first time, stay connected to the breathography breath cycles and connected to your ab ribbon. That's vitally important as your priority. And then over time, you're going to add on those other layers of specificity to optimize the exercise as you become more skilled at the exercise. But stay connected to your breath and don't let yourself move in your low back. Those are your priorities the first time through. So let's give it a practice round. We're at level 4 breathography, 3 breath cycles with a 4-6-4 breath retention formula. So let's hit it. From our zip up posture prep, inhale, hiss, 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 1, inhale 2, panorama, stare at the knees, hold the breath for 4, 3, 2, and a 1, pause, inhale, ground resistance, blow, you're coming up, pull those fingers apart, hold the breath for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fill the ribbon. Inhale. Panorama. Hold your breath for 4, 3, 2, and a 1. Amazing, amazing work. Now, rest 15 to 30 seconds, and then it's time to repeat it on the other side. So you can either rewind this video about 60 to 90 seconds so we can perform the other side together, or you can stop the video now once you become skilled at the exercise and try it on your own. Just stay true to that tempo, frequency, intensity, and duration of your breathography breath cycles. You may choose to put a metronome on your phone at 60 beats per minute to stay true and practice that 2 sniff, inhale, and that 8-second exhale, always loosening your ribbon on the 8-second exhale and keeping it loose on every single one of those breath retentions.